on, everybody? Welcome to episode 8 of To the Window. It is your boys Chris and Jemia here. Jemia, what's going on, brother?
What's happening, everybody? How you doing? How you doing? Episode number 8, the Ocho.
The Ocho, the Steven Gerrard's number. Think fondly of the number 8. And before we dive into the weekend, one of the things we always do a very terrible job of as we start to get going is reminding people to like, subscribe, share, do all of that. Want to make a concerted effort as we kick this off every week to remind y'all to please show us some love on the YouTubes, on the Instagrams. We're not on any other socials yet, but I'm sure that'll change in the future. But for now, make sure you hit us with that thumbs up. It's free to do, takes no time.
Please
Really
and
helps the
thank
platform.
you. Yeah, it takes like 2 seconds, guys. Just click the thumbs up right quick. I have to remind my close friends. By the way, did you like the video? Oh no, but just click it right quick. It doesn't take long. We really appreciate it, and it helps us out a ton, guys. For real.
There we go. Good stuff, brother. How are we? As always, we want to recap the weekend. I know we got some games coming up this week. We got conference championships, I think, start tomorrow in the Sun Belt. It's a little bit light on footy this week. But before we dive into what's going to be going or happening in the next couple of days, why don't we talk about how we did this weekend, bro? So, what are we looking at for all the dumpster diving that we've done, all the NBA picks that we threw out there? How are we feeling? How are we looking?
So since Thursday, because we did a show on Monday, so Thursday, it was all college hoops. It was trash college hoops and NBA. It was just a trash day after a pretty solid run in college hoops. But we went 5-7 in NCAA. We dropped 2.3 units. NBA we split. We went 4-4. Got hooked on a couple of props again. So many hooks on these props. It's killer. And then Friday we went a little crazy. We went 11-5, and that was with me dropping the that I didn't consult you on, by the way, the soccer pick I made. We dropped a unit on that, and I forget what it was. It was Villa. How can I forget that? Yeah, that we watched on Friday because you made a friend
Oh
on
yeah,
our YouTube
thank you.
channel. Yeah,
Thank you to everybody
I
who's
don't
jumping in the comments. That was
I don't remember what his name is, but
I don't remember what his name is either, but I
no, but that
love
that, that was kind of dope. He just immediately waited until the whistle blew just
second
to
that
just
game
to
ended,
troll you. He
crying.
couldn't wait.
Yeah, it was
He
great.
couldn't wait. So yeah, we dropped that one, which is fine. But NBA we went 3-2, gained a little bit, and then college hoops on Friday we went 8-2 and gained 5 units. So that was cool.
Let's go.
Here's where it gets weird. Saturday between you and I on the footy, we went 5-6. We dropped a unit. College basketball, we went 15-13, gained a unit. Literally even for the day. No harm, no foul. And if you can believe this, the exact same thing happened on Sunday. And here's what's crazy: the MLS overs split, so we lost some money on the juice. College hoops on Sunday went 7-6, gained a unit. Hockey, which I did not tell you I was doing, but I did it. I started running the system again on it was either Thursday or Friday. And yeah, went 4-0 with huge underdogs, like a plus 290 ticket cashed, a plus 180 ticket cashed. It was just a good day on the ice. And I am not a hockey handicapper. I'm a system guy and I watch the market. So that's how hockey goes. And I dropped like 7 in a row before the Olympic break. So getting these 4 back was good. So we gained 2 units over the weekend
Rock and roll. And yeah, again, shout
between
out to my new
70
best.
picks.
Yeah, and again on the footy, shout out to my new best friend in Wolverhampton for clowning us on Friday afternoon as we were completely dumbfounded by
So
a
good.
result that still makes no sense to me, even 72 hours later. But yeah, it was a
Hey,
weird day. Yeah, it was a weird weekend for footy. The Premier League, we went over on Saturday. We hit 3 out of 4 on Sunday. Um, and then MLS was kind of the same. Like the overs, we got a late push there yesterday. So I think we finished at 7 games that hit the over 3 goals. That's literally dead even after 2 weeks. So we're not seeing a whole lot yet. That's going to show us where this is a differentiator in the market, but it is early. And eventually, these teams that aren't very good, I feel like will eventually start to find the back of the net. So I think the goals will come, especially as the weather gets warmer, fitness gains, and all that stuff. I think you're going to see it become more and more wide open. So,
Right, cream's going to rise to the top. Yep.
yeah, and I don't think it's you know, in regards to the Premier League, it truly is. You never really know what you're getting there. Clearly, with the result that we saw from Wolves against Villa on Friday, I do think that we'll have some easy bets going forward for those teams that are at the top of the table because you are starting to see kind of again the cream rising to the top, as you just said.
Mhm.
Like you are seeing a differentiator in the top six versus all their other opponents. Touch on that a little bit as we get into the bets for the next few days, but I do think you are now finally starting to see a pack that's been super tight in England all season. Teams are kind of starting to find where they're probably going to finish the year, which makes sense because you got about 2.5 months left in the season. But at this point, you are starting to kind of generally see. I don't see you'll. I don't think you're going to see a huge amount of movement. If you do, it'll be in that 3 versus 6 range. But more to come on that for sure. But a little bit of a frustrating weekend watching for the results and chasing the results. But it'd be like that sometimes.
Hey,
And
so that's the name of the game. The ups and the downs, the ebbs and the flows. Is it ain't about picking winners, man. It's all about money management and minimizing damage.
there
After
you
you
go.
do some damage, ideally.
Yeah, ideally. So yeah, not the best weekend, not the worst, but as always, want to share our progress with with everybody so that they are completely transparent and clear on exactly where our money has gone, whether we're up, whether we're down. That transparency is a key part of what we're doing. So good stuff,
Just
man.
keeping it 100. You want me to dive into some NBA and then you hit some footy?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right, here's a rub on the NBA. I'm looking at my odds screen here, and I'm not doing any props because I don't understand what is happening in the NBA today. I just, not outside of betting props. That's cool. We got to, betting props nowadays is, you got to find a game that means something to a team that's got something to play for. Other than that, you got to watch out. And someone suggested, this was on Visa, the network I listened to, that first quarter props. So if you like the other night, I guess the Hawks were 13-point favorites against the Wizards or somebody like that. But I had I think Jalen Johnson last night. I had his prop over 29 and a half points and assists or something like that. He ended up with, I think, 17. It was terrible. But I'm pretty sure if I go back and look at that box score, he had them all in the first quarter.
Mm.
So the first quarter and a half, he went nuts. The Hawks just ended up blowing them out. So you can't bet the full game. If you have to bet a prop in a meaningless game, take the team, obviously the better team. But take the first quarter prop if you can find it. I don't we don't really have them here, being in Georgia and stuff like that. We don't have the fan duels on the DraftKings, but there are some books that we have access to where you can get some first quarter props, and that's the best way to go. But um the Rockets are 15-point favorites against the Wizards. It's Wizards a pass for me on that. There's some serious money coming in on Boston. I'm sorry, on Milwaukee against Boston. And I'm going to pull this up right now because I think Giannis might be. Yep, Giannis is back tonight. So that was Boston -7. Now it's Milwaukee. I'm sorry. Now it's only Boston -4.5 with Giannis coming back. I'm still going to be on Boston because the man hasn't played in God knows how long. So Denver, Utah is Denver -10. It opened at 10. It moved to 11. Now it's at 12. Uh, take the over and Denver to cover coming off that loss yesterday against Minnesota. And then a ton of money came in on the Clippers against the Warriors, and it's Clippers -1.5. But that's a stay away game for me. I don't understand. Like NBA is just, it's a little wonky right now, man. I'm not going to say I'll need to shut it down until the playoffs or anything like that, but this is just a really weird. It's not a good product
Yeah.
right now. I feel like it's a bad. It's just not a good product to me right now. It seems disjointed between the Prime and Shaq and Chuck coming over from TNT, and they're on ESPN now. It just feels really disjointed. Maybe it's just me though. I don't know. What do you think?
No, I mean, honestly, I'm inclined to agree because to the point of, and I was thinking about it, like, unless you're finding a matchup like you mentioned with and one of them I want to come back to because I don't know that I agree with you on it. But I think that like if you're playing one of these top three, or I'm sorry, if you're a top three or four team in the East or West, and you're playing a bottom three or four team in the East or West, I feel like generally speaking, like covering like an over 10 spread, I feel like is almost like money in the bank. To your point, like Jalen Johnson, 17 total points, assists, rebounds, whatever you said, all in the first quarter. That means they benched him because the Hawks won that game by 35 freaking points because the Trailblazers are crap. And the Hawks are trying to get out of the play-in tournament, right? And they look like a completely different team with Kuminga now finally here. So I think that unless you find, to your point, a team that you know for a fact is going for it, is still clearly putting the effort in there. Like it sounds so simple, but admittedly,
Hmm.
and even trying to
It.
watch some of like the end of that Spurs Knicks game yesterday. Once the Spurs knew they weren't coming back because they were down by 20, I mean, it just be like, just go ahead and end the game. Like, there's no point in playing the last 6 to 8 minutes of that game. Realistic. I mean, sure, give the guys on the bench minutes and all that,
Hmm.
have them earn that money for once. But
Absolutely.
realistically, it just becomes really, really, really bad basketball. And does that mean that there's money to be made at times? Yes, but also does that mean I want to watch it? Man, not really, because when basketball is bad, and we're going to see a lot of bad basketball in the weeks ahead too, with March Madness coming up. But when it's bad, it is the worst thing in the world to watch. And the one pick I was going to mention for today that I don't know that I agree with completely, I don't know how I feel about the Nuggets right now.
Mm, that's fair. That is
They
fair.
the stat I saw this morning while I was working out was 4-8 in the month of February. Okay, you're playing a Utah team that has clearly like they shut everybody down. They traded for what's his name Jackson from Memphis, immediately shut him down. They're shutting
Yep.
guys down for all these other reasons. I'm not saying that the Nuggets aren't going to win that game because they are clearly, and if that number is trying to go from 10 to 12, then obviously everybody else feels the same way. But you also almost have to wonder at this point too, will we start to see teams in that 3, 4, 5 range realizing they're not going to catch the Pistons, they're not going to catch the OKCs of the world. Like, if you're not a top two seed, will we now start to see more and more teams shut these guys down in games where they can pull away early, or if they're down early? Like, to your whole point there, I don't know that you can touch any of those props, but it means that again, coming back to the Nuggets, like at this point, if Jokic is sitting there going, "All right, we're probably going to be the three, worst case the four," if if the T Wolves continue to play well and they're playing real well right now, like is Jokic at this point just like, meh, get me into the playoffs because it doesn't matter. You're not going to get home court. You're not going to catch these teams in front of you. So that's my only thing with the Nuggets is the consistency component and a little bit of accepting is this just kind of where we are and where we're going to be for the playoffs? And if that's the case, maybe they cover the 12, maybe they don't. But if they end up sitting their guys for a quarter and a half, bad players have nothing to play for, you don't really know what's going to happen. And we can't bet on 2.5 quarters here in the state of Georgia. We got to bet on all four. So that is my only caveat to that pick. I do
Yeah,
think
that's a
I don't know about 12.
no, that's a valid point. That's a solid point because Jamal Murray got hurt for a little bit. Aaron Gordon still hurt. Who else is let me see who else is on their injury report for tonight, actually. It's just let me see. Yeah, Aaron Gordon, Peyton Watson, Cam Johnson, and then, you know, yeah. And then Utah's is just a joke. Their injury report, like they just don't care. But yeah, 12 is a lot in the NBA.
It is.
I mean, these are still professional athletes. So yeah, you might be right. You just talked me off. You just saved me a couple units because I'm not betting that game. Not
Yeah.
going to do it.
No, at this point, unless it's a clear runaway, like if that number was 8, yeah, bet it, sure. But to see it go from 10 to 12 that quick, where you are starting to see the haves and the have nots emerge, we got like 6 weeks left before the playoffs. Yeah, like I just think it's going to be really bad basketball to watch in the NBA from
Yeah,
now
that's fair.
until right around the time of the NFL draft and playoffs start.
Yeah.
So honestly, to your point, like bet a game if you love it, but I would say for everybody else out there, focus on March Madness, which you know is what we're going to do. If something really moves you, go for it. But otherwise, at this point, I'm inclined to say wait for the playoffs. But that's just me. So
Yeah. I mean, it's honestly just find a game that means something. And against the spread stuff, I wouldn't worry about it. Or look for opportunities for overs and look for role players and people on new teams and stuff like that. But the traditional, hey, we had him last night, Jalen Brown to go over 27 and a half points. I'll give you one guess how many points he scored.
how many?
27. Oh yeah. And then when I jumped on and put up the YouTube video about just a quick little thing about Desmond Bain, and I said the man's a wagon. He's gone over 19 and a half points in I think it was 8 straight games. It was like 9. He scored 17.
Mm.
And it was a game that meant something too. It was against the Pistons, and we had Orlando +5, and they held on in that third quarter. And then the Pistons defense is something to be acknowledged. The defense is great. So what's on the pitch for tomorrow?
What's on the pitch for tomorrow? I even got something today too, which is not normal for me to have a Monday footy bet, but there's obviously not like there's all these games that are happening are kind of garbage. I'm looking at them while I'm looking at you. The only one that I
What?
think feels like a good bet today is Real Madrid to bounce back against Getafe. They're getting or the number is set at 2.5 goals there. I like, even though Real Madrid is a heavy favorite at minus 265, I think that the bet here is actually the under. I think the reason for it, Kylian Mbappe is injured, Jude Bellingham is injured, Vinicius Jr., when he's not being given a bunch of racist BS, has been balling out all year, pretty much single handedly carrying Real Madrid, and Madrid coming off a loss to Girona, I think. I like them to, I like them to bounce back, get a result today. It's not a game that I'm going to go out of my way to really pay much attention to, but they only got one goal scorer and they're going to win. So I think like 2-0, that kind of a thing. And if you can get the prop, Vinicius to score, I love that one. So that's the only game today that really moves the needle for me. If I'm moving to Tuesday, tomorrow,
Well,
March 3rd.
and you said under on that, huh? I'm putting that in. We're wagering upon this game.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
La Liga.
it sure is. Yeah, because Getafe is not very good at scoring goals. I think they're averaging zero point 0.8 goals a game. You're
Oh
at the
yeah.
Bernabeu. You've got one guy who's in crazy form, even in spite of all the other injuries they have. They're still Real Madrid. I despise them more than any other team on the planet, but I feel like this is pretty straightforward money here. So 2-0, I think, is our result. Take the under on 2.5. And if I move to
All right.
tomorrow,
Under
March,
2.5 for we'll do a unit and a half. We'll go 1.5%.
live
Feeling
little.
froggy today.
There you
Feeling
go.
froggy. I'm feeling just pure on. I'm gonna bet it. There's underwater basket weaving. I'm gonna find it tonight and bet on it.
Please do, because some of the footy games this week, in the absence of the Champions League, are kind of crap. As I'm looking at the schedule for tomorrow, you've got a lot of cup matches happening all over Europe. But if we go to the Prem, I, out of all due respect to my new friend in Wolverhampton, you are not going to beat Liverpool tomorrow. With all due respect, even though the game is in Wolverhampton, you are not going to win this goddamn game. And as much
What
as
could possibly go wrong?
yeah, what? Yeah. Oh no, like he can't be wrong multiple times. But Liverpool's going to win this game. But the interesting thing I've noticed now, I shouted it out on last week's pod. Liverpool gets their number set at 3.5 for goals every game they're in. Everybody else is set at 2.5. Liverpool beat your beloved West Ham 5-2. Three of the five goals came from set pieces in the first half, which Liverpool has not done, if ever, or it's been a crazy long time, right? So, as much as I love them to get a result at Wolves, it's already been said Florian Wirtz is not going to be playing. He is the heart and soul. He has found his legs in England. The boy can play. He's not going to be playing. Zobozlai can only do so much. If anybody can find Mo Salah, let me know where he is. I don't see over 3.5 in that game. So for me, I'm taking another under there. I mean, now again, 3.5. Could they win 3-0? Absolutely. But I don't know that Wolves is going to put up enough of a fight given the form that I reluctantly have to say that Liverpool's in. Under 3.5, Liverpool beats Wolves tomorrow. And I know the odds on them winning is like 265 or something, but yeah, go for it. Sorry to our friend in Wolverhampton. The rest of the Premier League games tomorrow don't do a single thing for me. If anything, maybe take Brentford to get a result against Bournemouth. They balled out over the weekend. Everton, Burnley, Leeds, Sunderland. I
Yep.
don't want to say that those are going to be really bad games, but on paper they are bad games. So I have absolutely no interest there. And if we
Amen.
move to Wednesday, you've got a lot of other fixtures. Arsenal should roll. They've got Brighton, Fulham, West Ham. I hate to say it. I'm probably going Fulham on the money line there. I'm seeing plus 105 right now. The two interesting games, though, you got Villa against Chelsea, and you've got Newcastle against Manchester United. I do want to take a second to talk about, and I think that Leeds. I think Villa Chelsea is going to be a draw. Newcastle playing Man U. You want to talk about a club? We have crapped on a lot of teams in a very short amount of time on this podcast. Go look at Newcastle's schedule for the month of March because it is insane. Because they have made it to the knockout rounds in the Champions League. They've got a lot of injuries right now, but the easiest game that they were going to have between now and April was the one that happened over the weekend to Everton, and they lost. So if you are talking about a chance for them to get a result, it's out the window. I think Man U right now is just absolutely balling, and then they've got to play. I'm literally looking it up right now, but their schedule for the month of March is literally you got Man U tomorrow. You got FA Cup this weekend against Man City. Next week they play Barcelona Champions League knockout. They then play Chelsea the following weekend. They then play Barcelona again. They don't have a winnable game until March 22nd against Sunderland. So if you're Newcastle, I'm fading Newcastle for the next 3 weeks. So and yes, Man U is balling out right now. They did beat Crystal Palace 2-1 as I predicted over the weekend. I think it is full on panic stations in Newcastle. I don't know that Eddie Howe will make it to the end of the season if they lose all of those games. So that's where I'm at for the week. Thank God the games are a little bit better on Wednesday. Tomorrow, with all due apologies again to my friend in Wolverhampton, we should hopefully curb stomp you. And we'll see if Newcastle can find a way to sneak a result, but I don't feel real good about it. That's all I got for the footy.
Fuck you, Wolverhampton. Fuck you. Just kidding, guy.
No,
All right. Well, cool.
I do have to
We
say,
are. Yeah.
very quick side note. The rudest person I've met in my multiple journeys to the UK was a woman from Wolverhampton when I took my wife there in 2019. The biggest C word I've ever dealt with in my life on a train from London to Liverpool. Just an absolute shitbag of a human being who just could not have been like going out of your way to be unkind to someone when you're jet lagged and all this other stuff. This woman was just, of course, the reservation system was down on the train. My wife and I are exhausted flying in planes, trains, and automobiles just to get on the train to get to Liverpool. And this lady was just like outright rude, wouldn't let us take the seats that we had purchased, said all this other stuff, told me to F off multiple times, all unsolicited. Bro, with all due respect to Wolves, I can never pick Wolves because I'll always think of that one woman on the train. And then when she got off, another lady who's going to Liverpool was like, wow, she's a proper cunt, isn't she? And I'm like,
Right
okay,
on.
we're best
Shouts
friends
out.
now. New,
Yeah.
new
Shouts out to you, Mrs. Doubtfire.
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So
It's probably what you look like, I'm sure.
she was a college kid, so young
Ooh.
and thinks, yeah, well, I believe like that neck of the UK. We're now very quick off on a tangent. Lots of universities up there, and of course, like they don't. A lot of them don't have cars because they don't need them because they have functional trains. So, but we'll save that for our transportation podcast, which will come out next week. So, but yeah, fuck you, Wolves. Fuck you, Wolverhampton. Can't do it.
All right, guys. Here's what we are definitely going to get to the window with. We are going to take the Wizards against the Rockets. I just thought about something. It's been a really long road trip for the Rockets in the NBA. Just to dive right back into that with no segue. Um, so yeah, the line was at 16. It's down to 14 and a half. So we're going to be on the Wizards. I'm going to let it shape though. Hopefully it'll get back up to around. If I can get it above 15, that'd be great. As I'm sitting here staring at the screen, the Celtics Bucks spread is now 2
It moved 2 points in 10 minutes.
while we are sitting right here, sir. They are hammering this. This is insane to watch. Wow. All right. So honestly, with that much money coming in, it's Boston or nothing. Because now I can get them under a possession, under a 3 point possession. You're giving me just Boston -2. Yeah, unless some info's coming in that I don't know about. No, it's still. Oh, no Jalen Brown.
That'll do it.
That'll do it. All right, so we're completely passing on that game. We are not touching Denver and Utah and Clippers Golden State. Nah. So the one game we'll be on tonight will be the Wizards. Plus, as of right now, it's 14 and a half. If it goes to 15, pounds. If it stays up 14, hit it, but just 1%. At 15, I'm still gonna do 1%. I'm not going crazy with it, but I really like this spot for the Wizards to cover. They're not going to win, obviously. Not obviously. Nothing's obvious. And that's it for the NBA. I've got some we've got some slutty college basketball on tonight. It's just
Talk to
gross,
me
man.
about it. Did you find it in the dumpster?
Not these two. The first two are pretty solid. Duke and NC State. I feel like the books are just begging you to take NC State at 9.5. And it hadn't hit 10 yet. It might have hit 10 a second ago, but I'm not sure. Yeah, it did hit 10 for a little while. Every time it hits 10, it keeps coming right back. So they're leaving it at 9.5. I like Duke to cover that 9. I just don't trust NC State. And Arizona, Iowa State. Arizona was the school I wanted to play at until I realized I was only going to be a D3 hack. But I like Iowa State in a bounce back spot here, plus 7.5. I think they, yeah, I think they keep this one close. This is a rally cry game. I think they're overrated, but I think they bounce back here. And if they don't, I was right. And if they do, I was right and I make money. So I'll pay to find out because I really think they're overrated, but I think they keep this game close and they'll be one of those, the first weekend of the tournament, they're going to be out of there. Personal opinion. Anyway, and then when I took the trash out, I went to the dumpster and I found a few games that absolutely like we're just going to go to the bottom of the barrel here. Southeast Louisiana versus New Orleans. We're going to take them minus the 8. Oh yeah, this is great. There's not a lot of games on, man, so I just went full degen mode and started doing some research at like, oh, I don't know, about 7 this morning and been going ever since. So
Got some
yeah,
crap in the dumpster, eh?
yeah, man. I mean, and then I had to shower and shave, and so I'm going from the bottom of the extra board on up. Nickel State and McNeese State.
Who?
Yeah, Nickel State and McNeese
Oh,
State.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, you know them. You've seen them. But we're going to take Nickel State plus a 10.5 right now against McNeese State. There's a 2-point bump just because they've already played and lost, and Nichols is at home. Running through my projections, it should be 8, maybe 9. I'm getting 2 extra points of value here. I'm going to ride with that. Northwestern State, Utah, or Texas, Rio Grande Valley. We're going to be on Northwestern State plus 10. Don't ask me where it is. I don't know.
Playing who? Did you say Rio Grande Valley?
Texas, yeah, University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley.
What the fuck? No, that's not a place.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's yeah. UTRGV.
Shut.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, keep going, but I am looking this up.
Yeah, no, it's yeah. UTRGV. We're gonna take Stephen F. Austin against Incarnate Word minus the 8. Why? Because Incarnate Word has fucked me a couple of times this season. No lube. It's rude. It's the end of the season, and I want my get back.
I can't with
And
you.
I'm going to depend on Mr. Stephen F. Austin to get my get back for me from Incarnate Word. Never again. You get blown out tonight for me.
Hell yeah.
Coppin State and Howard, our brother Pete's alma mater. We're going to take Coppin State plus 19 points. It's too many points. It's Howard's last home game. I get it. They've already beaten them. They're the class of that. They're the class of that conference by far, but 19's too many. Those boys are planning on going out partying tonight. Maryland Eastern Shore, North Carolina Central. We're taking North Carolina Central plus a 2 because the wrong team's favored in that one. And the fighting Michael Vicks minus 2. It's actually up to 3. Norfolk State and Morgan State. Yeah, Michael Vick's bringing a ton of money into that school. It is, it's turning things around. It really is. Idaho State, Sacramento State, we're taking the under. Weber State, Portland State, wrong team's favored. We're taking Weber State plus the 4. Idaho, Eastern Washington minus 3.5. Let me see. And last one, Montana and Northern Colorado. Yeah, we're taking the under in that one as well. So there's going to be a lot of action on the board for a Monday. So if you're bored, you want to make a little money, just tag along, hit rewind after you hit the thumbs up and subscribe button, hit rewind. Go back through those college basketball picks. Plug them in. Let's win some money, man.
Is that all
And
you got
plug
in
the
the
footy in
dumpster?
now. Yeah, I don't have anything else from the dumpster. I'm trying to kind of see if I can find something maybe a little grosser.
I don't know, man. That was pretty.
It's pretty disgusting.
Yeah,
I'm ashamed of myself.
the fact that I mean, we are probably the only place on the planet Earth today, or probably within the entire galaxy as we know it, that is talking University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, and your anger towards incarnate
Incarnate
word.
word, yeah, yeah. Fuck them.
Like,
Yeah, no, too many times. They've screwed me so many times. It's just, it's not even cool. Like you're at home in a prime spot and they blow. Yeah, it's.
Jemia,
I have issues.
I have to say this. I know that the tournament's coming up. I know we'll have a lot of fun with it once we figure out how the fuck we're going to talk about it. But
Yeah,
I'm going to miss college basketball when it's gone because diving in a baseball dumpster just doesn't seem as entertaining as
yeah. Baseball's. Yeah,
like this is great. And actually, does that mean we have to do college baseball in the future so we can look at these absolutely dog shit universities that have no
I'm
business
not
being spoken
sure that
about
I don't know if my brain could handle any more
anymore?
attempting to handicap any more trying to handicap. I don't know, my four dreads I've got right here are just gonna light on fire at some point. But no, I'm not looking into college baseball, man. I'm not doing
All
that.
right,
Now
fair
you
enough.
got me. Now I'm kind of wondering,
Stop it.
should we get in
Stop
it?
it. You know
Yeah,
what?
okay.
I'm sorry that I said anything. This is an
Yeah, no,
intervention
hand out of the
already.
cookie jar.
You know what?
Hand
We're
out of
gonna
the
go ahead
cookie
and
jar.
stop it. So,
Oh,
well,
you know
good
what'd
stuff,
be
man.
cool?
Huh?
I'm gonna throw this out there. Just right quick, give me 1 second. I'm gonna throw a couple of hockey system picks.
All right, go for it, and then we'll wrap it up.
Sorry, guys. I should have had this ready before the show started, but
How dare you?
we'll see what spits out. Yeah, so anyway, actually, and I think we might go ahead and take the Clippers minus the one. Clippers on the money line, maybe. Even if I wanted to bet props in that game, I can't bet Kawhi because who knows how much effort he's going to give. And hopefully we'll be able to edit all this dead noise.
No, we're gonna leave it in. People get to see the creative process play out in real time. So
Yeah, no, this is how it works. I'm literally looking at the odd screen like we just literally watched in real time a spread move 4 points. Like, all right, so let me see hockey system picks. I've got four.
you have 4 hockey picks. Well,
Yes, I do. We're gonna take the Vancouver Canucks on the money line at plus 160. Yeah, we're gonna take the Kraken on the money line. They're at Carolina at plus 154. We're gonna take the Kings plus 140.
who are they playing? I know they just fired a coach.
Colorado. So yeah, it's the old, that's the old fired coach bump. Everybody balls out. Iowa State found out about that kind of post haste as they lost their best player. And then they played Texas Tech and they were favored by double digits against Texas Tech. And Texas Tech went in there in Ames, Iowa and curb stomped them.
Mm,
Like, so when you think a team is down, they're
yeah,
not. And I think the Kings get the fired coach bounce. And then the Philadelphia Flyers on the money line against Toronto. It's only plus 110. Philly played yesterday, so they are on a back-to-back, but I still like the spot. I think they get it done.
gotcha. Awesome. Well, wasn't expecting you to break down hockey at the end of the pod, but since we've rolled out college baseball and a few other things, then we got to find some other
This,
things to dig into in the dumpster. Now that
the spirit moved me. I don't know.
the spirit moved you, or it was whatever you had for breakfast. But
This THC seltzer that's delicious.
there we go. Hey, wish I could be doing that at 2 o'clock on a Monday, but I digress. Anyway, y'all, that's everything we have for you for this week. Again, please make sure you like, subscribe, share with your friends, bet the picks.
Please,
More.
please.
Don't bet more than you can afford. Don't be dumb. Or do, but just know that being dumb has consequences. So bet accordingly, act accordingly, be nice to one another. Once again, this is Chris. That is Jemia. This is
I
Through the Window. We will catch
You guys have a great day. We gotta work on the outro.
Yeah, we gotta work on the outro. You better turn
I don't know what to do. Yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, I'm recording.
Feel like get that fucking block.